Welcome to the Real Crime Diary Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, MHB, and today we're diving into a case that will chill you to the bone. What happens when a daughter's desperate act turns a peaceful suburban home into a house of horrors? In January 2023, a quiet neighborhood in Jenkintown, Pennsylvania, became the epicenter of a gruesome discovery that would shock the nation. The story begins with a concerned son, worried about his elderly parents, whom he hadn't heard from in days. Little did he know, his routine check-in would uncover a nightmare beyond imagination. As he entered his parents' home, an eerie silence greeted him. But it was what he saw next that would haunt him forever. A body on the floor, covered with a bloody sheet, and nearby, a chainsaw. In that moment, his world shattered. The victims were Reed and Miriam Beck, both in their early 70s, pillars of their community. But the true shock came when the identity of their killer was revealed. It wasn't a stranger or a random act of violence. It was their own daughter, 45-year-old Verity Beck. Verity, a former special education teacher, had been living with her parents. When her brother confronted her that fateful day, her chilling response to whether something bad had happened was a simple yes. She asked for more time, a request that speaks volumes about the horrific acts she had committed and was perhaps still carrying out. But what could drive a daughter to commit such an unthinkable crime against her own parents? As investigators dug deeper, a troubling picture emerged. Verity was facing financial difficulties, and her parents had accused her of stealing from them. It seems that confrontation was the spark that ignited this tragic powder keg. The details of the crime are nothing short of horrifying. Both Reed and Miriam had been shot in the head, but that was just the beginning. In a gruesome attempt to cover up her crime, Verity had begun dismembering their bodies with a chainsaw. It's a detail that sent shockwaves through the community and left even seasoned investigators shaken. The case took another turn when Verity's mental health came into question. While she was found competent to stand trial, her defense notified the court of their intention to use an insanity plea. Ultimately, she entered a plea of guilty but mentally ill, acknowledging her actions while also highlighting the role her mental state played in this tragedy. In a courtroom filled with grief-stricken family members, including her brother, Verity Beck was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As she was led away in silence, the weight of her actions hung heavy in the air. This case raises profound questions about mental health, family dynamics, and the hidden struggles that can lead to unthinkable acts. While Verity will receive treatment in prison, nothing can undo the pain and loss her actions have caused. As we reflect on this tragic story, we're left to wonder, could this have been prevented? What signs might have been missed? And how can we as a society better address mental health issues before they escalate to such devastating ends? That wraps up today's episode of The Real Crime Diary. I'm MHB, reminding you that behind every crime there's a story that needs to be told. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you next time for another daily dose of crime. Power, Pleasure, and Pain. A study of abuse through time. This book provides a detailed examination of how sexual violence and power dynamics have manifested across different historical periods, from ancient civilizations to the modern era. It explores how figures in positions of power used their influence to manipulate and exploit others, showing that the patterns of abuse we see today have deep historical roots. Many people struggle to grasp why abuse of power, particularly sexual violence, persists in modern society. By connecting historical events with contemporary cases, the book offers crucial insights into why such behaviors remain prevalent. The book analyzes infamous cases such as those of Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and Dominique Pellicotte, drawing parallels between them and historical figures. This section highlights how the systemic abuse seen in recent times is not a new phenomenon, but part of an ongoing cultural issue. Through the lens of these modern examples, readers will gain a better understanding of how institutions, wealth, and power have historically shielded perpetrators from justice, contributing to their ability to continue harming others. The book explores the philosophy of libertarianism, particularly through the works of Marquis de Sade, to explain the disturbing ways in which pleasure, power, and cruelty have been intertwined. This provides readers with a deeper philosophical context to interpret modern-day scandals. Unlike other studies that focus solely on historical or contemporary cases, this book uniquely blends both, offering a full spectrum of how abuse is tied to power dynamics. It stands out by making philosophical connections that help readers understand the deeper societal issues at play.